Welcome back. All right, we got a 5-game review, and it's early in the day. So there you go. For people on the East Coast, this isn't being posted at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 in the morning your time. So, yeah. We'll start things off talking about the New York Islanders and the Chicago Blackhawks. These teams have played 2 very entertaining games against one another. So with Sorokin versus Soderblom in this one, Dobson has a shot that's tipped wide. Hawks press at a minute and a half. Mikheyev has a rush chance that's held. Hall is denied. The rebound's cleared. Islanders press at 5.5 minutes, but 7 minutes in, the shots are 4-1 Chicago, and they would get on the board first. Mikheyev buries a cross-crease pass at 9:08. Teravainen and Allen with the assists. This is the 20th game this season where Chicago scored first. They lead the National Hockey League in that number. Hawks press with 9 minutes left. Dickinson's denied on a rush. The Islanders press with 4.5 minutes left. The momentum was shifting towards the Islanders. And at 18:43, Pulock scores. It's a one-timer pass to screen to tie it at 1. But, to Chicago's credit, they answer. At 19:40, on a one-timer from a sharp angle, it's Taylor Hall. Teravainen and Vlasic with the assists. It's 2-1 Chicago after 1. Second period, the Hawks press at a minute and a half. And at 2:25, the Islanders score. Holmstrom, it goes in off his skate. Engvall and McLean with the assists, so it's 2-2. Islanders press for the lead. The shots are 5-0 for New York. 6 minutes in, then there's more pressure by the Islanders at 7 minutes. Fashing has a rush chance that's held. The pace is picking up in the second half of the period. We get a power play for the Islanders. That becomes 1 minute and 9 seconds of 4-on-4, which becomes a power play for Chicago, which becomes 46 seconds of 5-on-3 for Chicago. And they score during the 5-on-3. It's Teravainen from Bedard and Vlasic at 15:19. And again, it's a cross-ice pass and in. The Islanders then kill off the 5-on-4. And with 1:57 left, the Islanders get a power play. So that's killed off. We go to the third period with the score 3-2 for Chicago. The Islanders score early in the third period. Soderblom immediately signals he thinks it's goalie interference. The team challenges, and it fails. So the Islanders come out with a power play. It's Dobson with the goal from Nelson and Siplikov at 47 seconds. That power play is killed off. Chicago clears it out after. The shots are 6-1, though, for New York 5 minutes in. The Islanders press at 7 minutes. Reichel has a rush chance. That's defended. With 3:20 left, the Islanders get a power play. That's killed off. And then at 19:06, Bedard puts one in. It goes off Sorokin's stick. Sorokin coming back actually knocks in with his stick. Bedard credited with the goal from Donato. So they pull the goaltender, and Connor Murphy from in front of his own net at 19:49. He ends up putting it into the empty net at the other end. So Chicago wins this one 5-3. They go to 10-19-2 with the win. With the loss, the Islanders 12-13-7, or more to the point, they've won 12 out of 13 games. 32 games. Sorry, 12 out of 32. If they'd won 12 out of 13, it'd be quite a different story for the Islanders. So the shots on net, 10-6 Chicago in the first, 14-6 Islanders in the second, 13-7 Islanders in the third. They do outshoot Chicago 33-23. Power plays, the Islanders 0-4, Chicago 1-2. The hits, 27-22 Islanders. Sorokin saves 18 out of 22. Soderblom, 30 saves on 33 shots. Has another very good game for the Chicago Blackhawks. All right, next up. Buffalo and Toronto. So it's Levi versus Hildeby. The Sabres came into this one 0-6-3 in their last 9 games. Early power play for Buffalo, and they score on it. Quinn gets his first goal in 17 games. Peterka and Byram with the assists at 1:03. In fact, 2.5 minutes in, the shots are 5-0 Buffalo, and they score again at 2:44. Tuck from Benson and Thompson. It's 2-0 in favor of Buffalo. We're not even 3 minutes into the game yet. But then there's an offensive zone penalty by McLeod, so the Leafs get a power play. That leads to a shorthanded rush chance by Alex Tuck, which is held. Pacioretty's then denied and close late in that power play. That power play is killed off. Leafs go back to the power play. That one's killed off as well. The Leafs press after it's done, and eventually they wear down Buffalo to the point where Domi roofs one from the doorstep his first of the season. Robertson and McMahon with the assists at 15:45. That makes it 2-1 for Buffalo. The Leafs press with 2 minutes left. It stays 2-1 Buffalo after 1. Second period, the Leafs press at 2 minutes. Domi to Robertson. There's a near miss there. The Sabres press at 3.5 minutes. Kulik fires one wide from the slot. The Leafs press. They're kept to the outside. Quinn's denied. The Leafs rush. And then at 9 minutes and 11 seconds during that same shift, Quinn, who was supposed to come off but didn't, he scores from Peterka and Samuelson. It was a nice drop pass by Peterka to set that up. And so it is a 3-1 lead for Buffalo. Very quiet crowd in Toronto at that point. Shots are 4-3 for Buffalo with 9.5 minutes left. There's a near miss for Domi as the Leafs press. And then at 11 minutes and 20 seconds, Robertson roofs one from the side of the net. McMahon and Domi with the assists makes it 3-2. The Leafs then get a power play shortly thereafter, and they score on it at 12:41. Tavares tips one in close. Matthews and Nylander with the assists. And then at 13:51, Tavares goes bar down to give the Leafs the lead. Tanev and Ekman-Larsson with the assists. So Buffalo calls a timeout. After that, there's a near miss for William Nylander on a net drive, but it is 4-3 Toronto after 2. Third period, early power play for Toronto. There's a shorthanded rush by McLeod that ends up bringing that to an end. Just one shot for Toronto on their power play. Marner fires one wide from the slot. Teams trade turnovers. Shots are 5-0 Toronto at 7.5 minutes. Tavares is denied as the Leafs press. Riley has a shot that's held. It's all Leafs at this point. Then there's a delay of game call. Gives the Leafs a power play, or would have. They challenged it. This is the first time I've seen this season, where a team challenges that it shouldn't be delay of game, and it works. I haven't seen anybody challenge a delay of game call, because if you're wrong, you have to kill a 5-on-3. In this case, yeah, it works. Went off Pacioretty stick, so good call. Then there's a near miss for Robertson on a rush. Buffalo would pull the goaltender. That leads to Tavares getting the hat trick goal and the natural hat trick as well. Nyes and Marner with the assists at 17:48. So Buffalo pulls the goalie again. Hildeby goes for the empty net, and Buffalo blocks it like cowards. 13 seconds left. It becomes a 6-on-4. Buffalo ultimately is unable to get another goal. Your final score in this one's 5-3 for Toronto. They go to 19-10-2 on the season. Buffalo 11-16-4. They've lost 10 straight. I've seen Buffalo fans saying, look, I know the rule on this channel is 10 wins or 10 losses, you do a video. Please don't do another video on Buffalo. I'm going to do something related to the losing streak, but it'll be different than what I did on Buffalo very recently. Shots on net, 11-4 Buffalo in the first, 14-9 Toronto in the second, 19-7 Toronto in the third. Final shots, 41-27 Toronto. Power plays, Buffalo 1 for 2, Toronto 1 for 4. The hits, 37-13 Toronto. Levi, 36 saves on 40 shots. Hildeby had a rough start, but he got it together. 24 saves on 27 shots. And with Stolarz being placed on IR today, Hildeby could get another start at some point this week. All right, next up, Columbus and Carolina. It was Merzlikins versus Tokarski. Tokarski back in the NHL. Good for him. So early press by Carolina. The Jackets draw a power play. That's killed off. Then there's a dumb penalty by Olivier. Just after the whistle, a while after the whistle, just knocks the guy down. So Columbus kills that off. Good for Olivier on that they did. Shots are 4-2 Carolina at 6 minutes. We then get a 4-minute power play for Columbus. A double minor for high sticking, but it's a shorthanded goal by Carolina that opens the scoring. It's Aho from Jarvis at 8:28. And then, most importantly, the Canes finish the kill. Severson's denied after the power play comes to an end. The Canes press with 8.5 minutes left. Marchenko has a near miss on a rush. Shots are 8-7 Carolina with 5.5 minutes left. The Canes press with 2.5 minutes left. And at 19:07 on a backhand from in close, Will Carrier scores. Stahl and Martinook with the assists. It's 2-0 for Carolina. Second period. Canes press at 2 minutes. The shots are only one apiece. I'm at 4.5 minutes in. Fabro has a wrister that's held. Svechnikov then has a rush chance. That's held at the other end. Neither team getting sustained pressure at this point in the game. A lot of one and done. Goaltenders controlling rebounds, that kind of thing. But power play then for Carolina. That's killed off. Shots are 8-6 Columbus with 5.5 minutes left. And at 15:51 on a nice pass from behind the net, Voronkov scores. Marchenko and Provorov with the assists. It's 2-1 Carolina. The Canes would answer at 17:14. Martinook scores from Stahl and Orlov. So it's a point shot past a screen that's tipped in. They challenge it for goalie interference, but it counts. So it's a power play for Carolina. The Canes score on that power play, and then it's challenged for a hand pass. And I said out loud, oh no, because I had this vision in my mind at that time of the guys who are telling them to challenge everything. Did they have the wrong headset? Is it the Carolina guys going, yeah, challenge everything? At any rate, the hand pass, it did bring that goal back, because if that one had counted and Carolina had got back to the power play again, Evison would have probably been right to go up and talk to the guys who were telling him to challenge everything. So that doesn't count, and then we end up with that power play turning into 16 seconds of 4-on-4. So instead of Carolina getting the power play goal, which would have made it 4-1, that's taken off the board, and then Columbus draws a penalty to make it 4-on-4. So to start the third period, there's 1:01 left in Columbus's power play. Werenski during that had an end-to-end rush that's saved, but the Canes do finish the kill. Then there's a press by Carolina at 4 minutes, and eventually they get one. At 6:18, Kotkaniemi wires one on a rush. Natchez and Walker with the assists. That makes it 4-1. Columbus looks to respond, but the Canes are blocking a path to the net. LeBanc takes a puck to the chin. That looked kind of painful. Hopefully he's fine. Canes press with 8 minutes left. Robinson's denied from the slot with 6:27 left. Columbus gets a power play, and Carolina kills that off. Canes press with 2 minutes left, but in the end, they didn't need anything more. Your final score is 4-1 for Carolina. Columbus 12-14-5 as they just keep fading. Carolina 19-10-1. They needed this one today. Shots on net, 12-8 Carolina in the first, 10-9 Columbus in the second, 10-7 Columbus in the third. Final shots are 28 apiece. Power plays, 0-for-5 for Columbus as Carolina's killed their last 17 penalties. Carolina goes 0-for-3. The hits, 23-17 for Columbus. Merzlikins, 24 saves on 28 shots. Tokarski, 27 saves on 28 shots. Let's go to the second board. All right, so Rangers in St. Louis. Quick versus Hofer in this one. Early Rangers press, but the Blues blocking. And neither team really had an early path to the net either. Teams trade turnovers. The shots are only 2-1 for St. Louis 5 minutes in. The Rangers press at 7 minutes. We get a power play for the Blues. That's killed off. 2 shots on net there. Rangers press with 9 minutes left. Berard has a rush chance. That's held. Buchnevich has a net feed. That's picked off. Zach Jones has a rush chance. That's held. Hofer pretty darn good. And then at 18:51, he gets goal support. Buchnevich, the former Ranger, from Neighbors and Thomas, makes it 1-0 for St. Louis after 1. Second period, Parayko to Holloway. There's a near miss there. Shots are 2-0 Blues, 3.5 minutes in. Riley Smith has a rush chance that's saved. And then at 6:33, Kyrou scores. I think it's a 4-game goal scoring streak for him. Toropchenko and Shen with the assists. And then Robert Thomas hits a crossbar shortly thereafter. And eventually he scores at 10:28 on an end-to-end rush. Robert Thomas just roofs it. So that makes it 3-0 for St. Louis. Shots are 8-5 for the Rangers with 8 minutes left. Carrick and Broberg get a little unfriendly. No punches are thrown. Rangers press with 3 minutes left. Zibanejad has a rush chance. That's caught and held. It's 3-0 St. Louis after 2. Third period. Good early forecheck by the Blues. The net feed to Buchnevich gets blocked. Walker has a rush chance that's saved. Things are pushy on a hold by Quick, which happened a few times in that third period. The frustration for the Rangers is noticeable on the ice. They're really tired of this. Press by St. Louis at 4.5 minutes. Fowler has a shot that's blocked. Fowler had a good game, I thought, tonight, too. Falk has a tip shot that's kicked aside. The Rangers getting almost no zone time at this point. Shen to Kyrou gets blocked, and then at 10:18, Berard. It's a deflected puck, and it just kind of wobbles in. That makes it 3-1. That's from the left circle. The Rangers look for another, and they get it. From the inner slot, Will Cooley buries one. Lafreniere and Hedl with the assist at 11:37. It's nice those three guys combined because those might be the three Rangers I don't see a lot of complaints about. Cooley, Lafreniere, and Hedl. So the Blues call a timeout. They're still up by a goal. It's a good time to call the timeout. Rangers press with 7 minutes left. Some momentum for the Rangers. Fans were getting a little restless there. Goalie pull happens with 2:11 left. There's a near miss for Zibanejad, and the Blues end up hanging on. They win this one 3-2. They go to 15-14-3 with the win. The Rangers 15-14-1. They've lost, what is it now, 10 out of 13? It's insane just how many games the Rangers are losing right now. Shots on net, 8-7 Rangers in the first, 11-7 Rangers in the second, 10-9 in favor of St. Louis in the third. Nope, that is the wrong total. Let me just go ahead and make a quick alteration. Yep, my math skills are without equal. Shots were 28-24 for the Rangers. Power plays, the Rangers didn't have any. St. Louis had one. They did not score on it. The hits, 41-20 in favor of the Rangers. Quick saves 21 out of 24. Hofer 26 saves on 28 shots. So it just continues. The Rangers, their next game's in Nashville. Somebody has to win that game. Somebody has to win that game in Nashville. Either the Rangers or Nashville. Make your picks now. I'm making up the preview board for Monday and Tuesday. So somebody's got to win that game, right? All right. Next up and last one of the day is Vegas in Minnesota against the Minnesota Wild. So it's Samsonov versus Wallstead. Stone has a slot shot that's blocked. At 1:28 on a nice pass from behind the net, Kaprizov scores from Zuccarello, who made that pass from behind the net. It's 1-0 Minnesota. Shots are 4-2 for the Wild at 4.5 minutes. Pretty strong forechecking by Minnesota at this point in the game. Foligno then takes a puck to the forehead. Looked like that was a little painful. We get a power play for Vegas, and it takes 7 seconds. Olofsson's really heated up. He scores from Theodore and Eichel at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. We get a press by Vegas with 9 minutes left. Vegas presses some more with 5 minutes left. Brodin then has a rush chance that's blocked. It's a crossbar and out for White Cloud, so it could have got worse than what we saw. Kolasar has a fight with Foligno, so he takes a puck to the head. Still gets into a fight. Vegas presses in the final minute. It's 1-1 after 1. Second period, Goudreau's denied on an early turnover. Hartman has a net feed. That's held. The shots are 2 apiece, 4.5 minutes in. The Wild press at 5.5 minutes, but they're kept to the outside. Puck goes the other way, and at 6:04, it's Theodore scoring from Eichel and Stone. So Theodore stays red hot, makes it 2-1 Vegas. Shots are 5-2 for Vegas at 7.5 minutes. Some pressure by the Golden Knights 9.5 minutes in, but they're kept to the outside. Then there was a post for Brodin, and right after that, Kaprizov is denied by Samsonov. The Wild press with 5 minutes left, and at 16:54, Kaprizov wires one from the right circle. Faber and Zuccarello with the assists. So the score is 2 for Vegas and 2 for Kaprizov. Things get pushy in a hole by Wallstead, and then a buzzer beater by Stone. He just ran out of time, and he ran out of space. So it is a 2-2 tie after 2. Third period, the early jump was for the Wild in this period. Kaprizov has a one-timer that's held, but then at 3:49, a goal that was originally credited to Karlsson has been changed to Olofsson because it goes in off Goudreau's stick. So basically, Goudreau with a perfect tip into his own net there. It's Olofsson from Karlsson and Dorofeyev. That makes it 3-0, or 3-2, I should say, in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. Shore misses on a breakaway. Just flat out missed on a breakaway there. Wild press with 8 minutes left. The shots, though, are 8-4 for Vegas with 4 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with 2:15 left, and Vegas just protects the net. Even though with 49.1 seconds left, it becomes a 6-on-4 with a power play, and the Wild called a timeout. Vegas hangs on. They block the net. Nothing for Minnesota. Final score is 3-2 for Vegas. They go to 28-3 with the win. With the loss, Minnesota 27-4. Shots on net 12-6 or 12-10 Vegas in the first, 7-6 Minnesota in the second, 9-5 Vegas in the third. Final shots 27-22 for Vegas. Power plays, Vegas scored on the only one they had. Minnesota did not score on the only one they had. Power plays, or hits, I should say, 20-13 for Vegas. Samsonov, 20 saves on 22 shots. Wallstead played well, 24 saves on 27 shots. Vegas is just very good at getting goals when they need them, and they're red hot right now. So let me know your thoughts regarding these games in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.